when I finished the story last time, we just completed basically eighth grade, and parents decided to pick up and move from the country. Or move to the country. So, leaving our house at 55 Elk Street, we kind of gathered up and we moved out to Dark Hollow, just up by the Pink Apple, which is up on top of Mile Hill. So we leave here and we slide right on up to our house deep in Dark Hollow, and we'll get a better view of that. So this was just off the main road, right? Highway 6 ran by, and we had this little Lane, Adams Avenue. And there was a little house that sat almost on the corner. It was green, and that's the house that we moved into. Um, yeah, it was a nice enough house. You know, we spent I spent all my high school years there, ninth through 12th grade, and uh, we just kind of figured out the neighborhood. My dad spent a lot of time kind of reclaiming the land, and we used to have a very nice yard that was here, a garden that was sat up here. We had a dog house out by the tree. Um, but all in all, just a kind of a nice place to live. From here, we used to once again just kind of explore our woods and explore our domain. For the most part, we kind of stayed down in Dark Hollow, but we had this wonderful mountain that we would go explore. Now, there's probably people that figured out we were on their land and trespassing. But one of the things that we did, mostly with my Civil Air Patrol friends, Chuck Lacascio, most notably, is we would kind of walk out. There was a trail that followed this creek, and we would walk out to this set of rocks that overlooked the river. Yeah, let me zoom in on here, and basically where the creek entered the river, there was a set of ledges that kind of jut out over the railroad tracks. We used to go out there and do a lot of rappelling, and we'd basically set up our ropes and we'd spend the whole day camp out there and just rappel all weekend. It was just absolutely a fantastic opportunity. Other things that we did, we certainly had our adventures up to Pink Apple, which kind of sat up on the corner here of 6th and Dark Hollow Road. And so we'd bike up there, go grab an ice cream, things like that. One of the other things that we'd spend time doing is we'd take off from the house and head up the other way to Dark Hollow Road, and then kind of swing by the Prevost house. So Angie Prevost lived there, and we'd head over to DeWolf's little grocery area there, and at least once a month, probably more during the summer, go get our fix of penny candy and pick up some comic books and things like that. And that was one of our big adventures. We'd also head out. There was another road that would basically take us to the top of the hill here, and we'd follow that road. And here's where Kathy Fiore and Mike Rhodes, they lived up here, and we would go hang out with them. So whoops. So that was always enjoyed going out and visiting folks in this part of the area. But this is mostly where I spent all my high school time. And but at this time, now we had a car, and with that car, I always kind of went everywhere from Mahoopany and Mashopin, all the way to Scranton, Poconos, just kind of exploring and just adventuring. Um, and so that kind of made up the high school thing. The place that we lived, this house from Tunkhannock proper was about 4 miles along the road. So 4 miles to get to downtown. Um, it was nice when when I had a car. But first couple years that we lived out there, it was all bicycles. So I had a 10 speed bike. Would ride the bike all the way downtown, and go to swim practice, or just during the summer, just go out riding. So, one of the things I spent a lot of time doing was riding a bike. So those were kind of the adventures that we had out there. There was, always. I'm just thinking of all the trouble that we managed to get into, or barely, or mostly get into. Getting a car, being able to get served at at the age of 16 was quite adventurous. We'd go up just around the hill, and some people, we used to have parties up at their house, or we'd just be driving the roads, hitting signs with our Miller bottles. So yeah. Tunkhannock, great place. I always, everything I usually kind of compares back to Tunkhannock. I think Tunkhannock is keeps evolving and keeps changing. Sometimes I agree with the direction they're going. Sometimes I don't. But they're working to progress, and you can't fault them for that. So, but it's absolutely beautiful country there, and I definitely miss the Four Seasons as it relates to that country. So, if you still live there, right, consider yourself pretty lucky. You got a nice place. So, but those are my adventures. Those are the houses I lived in, while living in Tunkhannock. Since then, been around the world. So, well, thanks for listening, and leave some comments. Love to hear what you have to say.